Hello. It's been a long time since I've done a live stream. I think it was August was the last time. I've obviously moved house since then. So we'll see how many people we get. Hello everyone. Hopefully you're all good. Afternoon everyone. Nice metal intro. When the Venga boys will probably come out when the market goes absolutely roaring. But we'll see. We'll see when that happens. But hello everyone, welcome back to the world of live streams. The only reason why I'm doing a live stream because, as I say, August, and it's been a while. So today we're going to go over certain altcoins, obviously. We're going to go over my analytics from my social media to kind of show you what's been happening. A lot of it actually genuinely looks like Bitcoin at the minute in terms of like how it's been growing over the last 3 months. We'll go through that. And yeah, we'll see if we can get some sort of alpha from that, essentially. But yeah, nice to have you all here. But yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, Bitcoin, 41,500. Fear and Greed, 75, as you can expect. Some of the best performing assets are like the weird ones, like the weird and wonderful, kind of the classic of likes of Luna, as you can see. All right, that's just crypto things. Always happens, I suppose. Learning crypto DJ chat's been flying off like a rocket as well, because there's a lot of new opportunities around. People are slowly coming back. But let's talk about what has been happening. So as you know, highest we've been since Luna. Luna. And that's kind of obvious to talk about in terms of how that one has gone crazy guns, even though it's not even a thing anymore. Pretty mental. But if you've not been around for that long, and you don't remember this, well, hello, if you're new. I will talk about the new people soon. But yeah, this is the first time in a long time that it's happened. Obviously, we also had the FTX crash as well. So yeah, when we think about Luna, FTX crash, CZ removed from Binance, all the other bits and pieces and all the other exploitations and the credit system in crypto all going down the plug with the likes of BlockFi, with the likes of Celsius and all those other ones. And, you know, in December 2023, 2023, I'm in the right year. We are currently 41,500. I didn't have that on my bingo card this year, but here we are, right? But let's talk about something a bit more interesting. Obviously, yes, it's all on mainstream media. Jamie, who's in the chat, has been posting in the Discords. Mainstream media hype, right? Everywhere is talking about it now, everywhere. And I've been talking about Bitcoin for a while in terms of 48,000 could be a real big FOMO area. But mainstream are already talking about it now. 42,000 is a big number. And yeah, it is. And it's, as you can see, look at that. 150% over the course of this year alone. And what's going to happen next? Well, we've got the ETF narrative, haven't we? Yes, we do. What's going to happen there? Dominance is going to rise. Ooh. Dominance may well then trickle into Ethereum. Ethereum may rise. Then dominance will fall, leading to maybe a cascade of altcoins growing in value versus BTC. And then we're in the new cycle bull market mania, right? That's kind of the playbook. Whether it happens or not is another thing. We'll talk about that in a bit. But anyways, as I said before, please do, if you can, it would be nice if you can like the video, the live stream, what you're watching, so we can get some more pumpage. But yeah, I will probably start doing live streams more often, certainly once a week for a bit of fun. As I say, the only reason why I've not done it is because I've been moving house and I've been having a lot of people in and out of the house as well, doing stuff. It's giving them a pain in the ass. But things are more settled. But let's talk about certain things regarding why my opinion is the market starting to pick up, certainly from my own analytics, certainly seeing behaviors from exchanges as well, which is hugely important here, what they're doing, because you'll probably start to notice things. But the first bit here is interesting. This is, I don't know how good this source is, trust me bro type vibes, but if this is the case, and let's just say they're a little bit late to the party, if they are looking to buy up some Bitcoin, that could be massive. But we talk about, and I know this is going to sound really giddy for some people, but we talk about catalysts, right? when you see a catalyst of like an ETF, look at the previous cycle. Catalyst obviously was the quantitative easing, the stimulus checks. There was a Canadian ETF that was accepted that bought up a lot of Bitcoin. Elon Musk, Tesla, I want to accept Bitcoin. And it kind of just rolled downhill. This is a kind of vibe that will kind of roll downhill as well, where you've got ETF narrative. You've got people like that potentially could be buying or making rumors that they could be buying. People want to get in before the herd. Mainstream media, going back to it, talking, waffle. I want to buy Bitcoin. Why? Because green dildo levels. It just happens, right? It's crazy. But that's just how it is, right? So when we talk about that, if this is anywhere near, right, which I don't think it will be, by the way, that's quite a lot of money. But if they're looking to drop a couple of billion and the new investors, it's just going to increase our scarcity again. But hey, it is what it is. But let's talk about some of the obvious, and we'll talk about some analysis in a bit. But my analytics and exchange behavior is something to look at, right? We'll start off with exchange behavior. First thing, and I've talked about this before, not on that one, here. This is interesting. So, talked about it on my Twitter before. Lisk is an old coin. So is ARK, right? I'm pretty sure I mentioned ARK on my own my own Twitter here. So we've got this one here, Lisk, coming back to exchanges. I've talked about it in other ones as well, but ARK and Lisk are coming back to BitGet. Now, the reason why I want to mention these is because if you're in the UK, hi UK people, there's not many exchanges you can buy onto these days. And if you are looking to buy coins and when the hype comes, you're going to want to buy it. There's a nice giveaway here on BitGet for Lisk. Now, Lisk is an old coin. I had it back in 2017, but for some reason, a lot of people are asking me, where do I buy this? Where do I buy that? And I'm like going, well, you can buy it on here. You can buy it here. Can't get that. Why? I don't have an account. Get an account. Trust me, because when all the accounts get shut down, we've already got Binance not accepted. We've already got Bybit completely. You can't even use it now. Try to use Bybit the other day. Can't use it. Oh, great. So be careful. Get on it. And this one here, they've got like a nice little offer where you get a giveaway of coins. If you want to make some money and you find some money, go for it. But yeah, the big warning is if you're in the UK, there's a big problem. That problem is very, very simple. We cannot get on certain exchanges. It's becoming really annoying. But anyways, let's look at what is happening. Over the last 90 days, YouTube has grown and my output has not changed at all. If anything, my output has decreased. I don't do nowhere near as many videos as I should, but that's just me, right? So when we talk about how many views are increasing, the watch time's increasing, the amount of subscribers coming through, and obviously the revenue as well, it's interesting. It's all due to the search terms. The search terms are getting really interesting over the last 90 days. When we look down in terms of like, bear with me, there we go. We're all the way at the bottom here. Christ, where are we? No, where? Can't even find it now. Bear with me. I will find it. There we go. Search terms, massively up, 37%. That's just telling us something very simple, right? People are looking at crypto. People are asking questions, right? When we look at like, obviously me, yay. But you get the idea. People are searching for assets, Chainlink, Solana, Near Protocol, obviously Polkadot. That's kind of like really interesting to note in terms of when we're looking at all these stuff. All the stuff that you would expect in terms of anything on YouTube are starting to get more and more amplified because people are starting to get interested again. What they're doing is, it's simple. They're looking at the likes of, oh, Bitcoin's at what price? Oh, shit, really? Wow, okay. I'll go back and see what coins I've got in the old wallet and go from there. And then they're starting to come slowly back to YouTube. I've seen it all over. You know, look at the last 90 days. The impressions are up 91%. That's ridiculous. And impressions is basically how many times your video is seen in the search algorithm on like the browse page, whatever, but not actually clicked. What is actually clicked is here. As I say, my output hasn't changed. Like you can look at my videos. Some days I do like literally one or two videos a week. Like I used to do 5 back in like 2020, 2021. Don't do that anymore. Crazy numbers, but you get the idea. This as a metric is interesting because it's starting to show where the money is going. And another thing as well, when we talk about revenue, this is massive, by the way, in my opinion. This was about 350 not too long ago, right? What this is telling us is that money from advertisers starting to come into YouTube. People are starting to promote their products because they're starting to see more and more people watch content around finance. Finance pays well, right? It's not a massive amount of money in terms of me for making money on doing YouTube. It's just an extra bonus. But at the same time, for me, it's telling us one thing simply. People want to put their business in front of people like you or me or whatever, right? So it's huge. Massive, massive step up, right? In my opinion. Now, I'm not an expert in terms of data analysis, but I often find out that, well, over time, when it gets a bit hyped up, I like to take profit. When it starts getting a bit interesting, I like to buy, right? The other way around is obviously when it's gone a bit dead. And there has been time periods when we look back in time, the last year essentially, right? You can probably see very, very clearly how, certain things are a lot lower. There's certain times where it just was nowhere near. You can see, it's not the greatest chart in the world, but you can see how much it's changed. And even over the last year, still down 9% over the last previous 365 days. So the previous year, you can just see, and obviously look at this, goes down. Crazy. And there was videos there because I didn't have like a month and a half off. So pretty scary. But other things as well. Let's talk about Twitter. Twitter's an interesting one. So this is August, right? Yeah, don't get me wrong. I had like a week off. But let's be honest here, didn't really matter much. In terms of change, it has ramped up quite a lot. Obviously, you can see ramped up a little bit in September, right? Cool. But again, when we talk about it, from October onwards, for some reason, without really changing the output massively, everything's just changed. It's just went, oh, okay, what happened in October? Well, we bottomed out. The market, for some reason, bottomed out. And that's creating things to shine. And everything just went up. Engagement rates went up. Click rates went through. The amount of likes gone. Ridiculous. And then there's people like, why don't you message me back? Why don't you mention me? Why don't you reply? All right. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's going to get worse. Again, November, similar sort of ilk. Down a little bit, but still ridiculous in terms of the output here. This is ridiculous, right? And when we start about the first couple of days already in December, sorry, we're still already at ridiculous levels, right? It is crazy. So yeah, things are getting interesting. And finally, obviously Patreon, numbers are just going up. This is a free member section. There isn't much of a free member section. I don't do anything for free really. But again, into the paid, it's still growing. Everything's just going mad all of a sudden from this summer. And this summer, we have had a heroic run from BTC. It's very interesting that numbers from this point has changed massively with all the growth metrics. Makes you wonder why. Makes you wonder why advertisers are coming back, why the exchanges are listing certain types of coins, why people are watching more videos lately, why the news outlets are doing certain things. It's because they think something's happening. I think as well it's a matter of when, not if, with the ETF now. It's like the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. We know it's coming. It's just a matter of give us it, please. Very excited. But you get the idea. When we talk about the likes of dominance, which I just seen popped up here, for me, I still think dominance will go higher. That's my personal opinion. As much as I've been saying, no, it's not going to go to 60%, the ETF narrative has changed it massively because of the amount of money that could be brought in. And also the altcoins have disappointed me a little bit. So yes, I am wrong on that one. I think Ben Cohen is right, but I do think realistically, I think if you put USD in the market like I did back in the day, you still would have made a decent chunk of money, which I have. I'm lucky for that. But we could be looking at it going up here. When we remove the stable currencies as well, it's sitting around 60, 59%, which isn't bad. But we've got to look what's going to happen with the stable currency dominance. Is that going to rise or fall? It's currently in a gipping downtrend, which could go much lower. This would indicate that everything's crushing the stable currencies because everyone's wanting to put their stable currencies into something, literally, quite literally. So it's just melting all the way. But yeah, for me, if you've got BTC to play with, put it into altcoins if you want to. Like some altcoins look fantastic value. Like I've got some down here that I'm keeping an eye on. DOT, for example, on the floor. I shouldn't really talk about DOT really. Obviously Glimmer, Nia has had a nice little bounce, but it's still low. There's a lot of room for the upside here. Even Rose has came down quite significantly over the last few days. It's had a nice little pump though. So there's a lot of questions there where you can go, well, maybe I can just put some BTC into them and we'll take out in the future. But it just depends. The ETF narrative is a new one, isn't it? It is brand new. We didn't have anything like that in the past. If, you know, X amount of billions going to get bought over a quick period of time, what's going to happen? Who knows, right? So I'm currently keeping my BTC at the minute. I've got 40% of my portfolio worth in BTC. I'm very happy I've got that. I'm only happy because it's making me money, and it has made me a lot of money this year, so I'm pretty happy. But we'll see. But that is a nice uptrend. It's looking pretty nice on the 5-day time frame. Obviously, the monthly looks ridiculous. 3 months is even more crazy. But what goes up tends to come down with this. If this goes up into this region, then absolutely melt and creates a new low down here. If you're holding altcoins, quids in. Put it that way. If you're going to obviously do the conversion into BTC, if you so wish to. But yeah, we'll see how things go. But yeah, it's very hyped, as the chart in the chats are saying. Especially when the news articles are pretty much everywhere. BTC, BTC. Oh, wow, BTC. Wow, 20k. What? 40k. What? 60k. What? And then it gets louder and louder every time. But hey, we'll see. Ben Cohen is under fire from every... Yeah, Ben's... I don't mind Ben. I think he's good. He's a good analyst, but sometimes he talks more in certainties instead of probabilities. And I think that's what gets him under fire for a lot of it. Like, everything's a probable cause. Everything's probable. But sometimes things go a little bit wrong. For me, I think the last few weeks has been a really good entry for altcoins to get some gains at least. But as I say, if that ETF news drops at some point in the next couple of months, I think Bitcoin's going to just take off, and then the altcoin's just going to be lagging behind a little bit, and they'll eventually catch up when rotation goes into Ethereum. Ethereum's still looking like, I don't know, Ethereum's a bit weird. It's like, it's just a mess. It just hasn't really done anything as big as BTC. It had a much deeper correction. It's pulled obviously up massively, but it's chalk and cheese. It really is a different thing. But there's going to be a lot of hype around this if the ETFs are accepted. And then, oh, what's next? Oh, Ethereum? Okay, cool. We'll go with that one. And then that'll get hyped up, and then everything will just go, you know, roll downhill. Be fun though. Rose has kind of had a nice little correct. This had to correct though. This has had a mental run, by the way. Look at that. Pop, pop, pop. Pull back into here, please, and go again, please. That'd be lovely. But we'll see how it goes. Too much euphoria. There's going to be a dump. I agree. I agree. I've been saying it for the last week or so. I expect a push back to the downside. I mean, the problem we've got is any little niggle that Bitcoin has, the altcoins are going to feel it, I think. If this is the top for a while and we're going to go back down to 35, 36k, altcoins are going to hurt a lot. Personal opinion, of course, not financial advice. Try not to get caught out, but bull markets do have very, very sharp pullbacks, very, very quick ones too, that will rattle you out. They do. They make your shoes start to squelch because you're pissed in them. Not good. Not good at all. What else have we got? My biggest bag is Injective. Oh! Injective's an absolute corker of a run. Injective's been by far the standout coin of the year. By far. There's not many that really matches this. I mean, look at that. If I was holding from $1.30 like you, I'd be absolutely chuffed. Put it that way. Good little buy, that. But yeah, I'd definitely be taking some money out, moving some stake in a rewards, or even selling some into BTC if you wanted a bit of BTC for the run. It's not a bad thing. The BTC pairs are going to be absolutely glorious in this. I think the all-time high, or the were all-time high. I should really get off the stocks one. There we go. I mean, look at that. I've already talked about this before, not so long ago. What a move. Crazy move. Be nice if it goes back up again, though. When's Doc gonna pump? Oh, man, if only I knew. I'm annoying a lot of people in Dot at the minute because I'm very outspoken and just talking about it. I'm upsetting the apple cart a little bit. Oopsie. But no, I don't know. It's got the tech, just doesn't have the brains behind it at the minute. But yeah. How big will the retracement be after the bull run? Depends on a lot of things, isn't it? We're obviously starting something here. You know, let's be honest. But we have been seeing diminishing returns. Not so much. Yeah, we have technically diminishing returns, but also not as deep and ugly bear market. My opinion, anyways. I didn't think this bear market was too bad. We've seen Bitcoin not correct as much. Ethereum didn't correct as much. Yeah, some of the altcoins did, but for a lot of the altcoins, it's very, very similar. It was their first ever bull cycle into a bear market, which 90% usually correct. So you may not see it as bad next time on some solid assets. But yeah, it depends. I mean, we're obviously going to get some sort of pain at the end of this, obviously. But as long as you're out and tickety-boo, it's fine. But as I say, I personally didn't think it was that bad, but I was kind of prepared. I've already been through one, so you don't really feel it as much when you're in profit and you're kind of just sitting and waiting. But if you were buying the dip and kept on dipping over the course of the start of like 2022 into like almost into 2023, it would have hurt quite a lot, I'm afraid. I'm the dot menace. H-bar's decent. I just don't really hold any concern about gold rallying. Nah, that's just life. That's war and peace and all that malarkey. The reason why gold is rallying is due to the tension in the Middle East. Simple, really. Like, it's all this stuff. You know, people are scared about what's going to happen. The bond market is starting to roll over a little bit. Gold is like Bitcoin. It's one of those things that I should really buy when things are not looking grand. And that's what's happened. Gold, let's have a little look at gold, actually. I think it hit its all-time high during the night today or whatever, but it's rejected hard. Look at that rejection. That's ugly. Horrible. But I've always asked this question on my gold charts. If you're my patron, you'll know this. What does Bitcoin do when gold bounces? Every time? Pop. Off it goes. Just one of those things. And it's a good cause for Bitcoin, that, if it's going to react like gold. So that's quite useful. Monthly charts don't really show you the picture, but in the weekly chart, it definitely does. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin on the 9th of October, you'll know what's happened. Even here, you'll know what would have happened. It's crazy. It's good, though. Good banter. But no, it could be a lot worse for a lot of things if you wanted it to be. The problem we've got with this is it needs to break 2K and be a convincing break, because if it breaks over 2K, it's got nowhere to go other than the blue sky breakout. It just feels like that's a massive rejection, and it feels like it's a little bit suppressed. So be mindful of that one. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What else have we got? Given A0 as a new coin, I think A0 will be fine. I quite like A0. I've got a bag. My Patreon's got like a little earner portfolio where we've put $1,000 in 5 different coins. A0 was one of them. I like to find a new coin that's kind of came out at a shit time. I like those type of, I don't know why, I just do, because they don't really get seen. They kind of like just die a little bit in price, but they're developing, they're doing all the magic and stuff like that, and it's great. And then all of a sudden the bull market's like, wow, look at this is cool. Why did I never see this before? Probably because you weren't looking. So stuff like that, really like that sort of shit. But that's my opinion. Why do people want to talk about Polkadot? I'm not saying nothing. I'm already getting forks thrown at me. What was that question there? Is the bear market really over? I think so, yeah, definitely. I think it's been over for a while. I mean, I did a YouTube video back at, first quarter of the year, saying I've gone back all into the market in terms of all my USD profit, and people were like, what are you doing? You're mad. I mean, I bought a decent chunk of Bitcoin not long after FTX crashed. And I thought, well, that's going to be some nearish to a bottom. And now look at where we are. At the end of the day, Bitcoin rules the roost, right? For me, when it started breaking this structure, it was getting very interesting. When it did this massive pump, that was like, hold on a minute. And we were starting to break structure. Once we broke levels of structure, it was looking really interesting, thinking this is pretty strong. But it still had its 20% corrections, and it still rumbled people out every single time. Because it does. People get scared because Capo's like, oh, look at me on Telegram. We're going to go down to like 12K. Fuck off, mate. Seriously, it's ridiculous. But hey, ho, it is what it is. Nia's looking good. Yeah, Nia's looking great. Nia, I was so happy that I was debating buying Nia for a while, right? And I was like, I bought it too early. I openly say this on my Patreon. I do a journal on there. I was like, I bought this way too early. I'm fucking flooded, right? I was underwater for ages. I was like, shit. And it started going down towards $1. I was like, I'm just going to start buying. And I bought it, and I bought it on like literally at this period. It's like, I'm just going to buy it, bollocks. If it goes under $1, I'm just going to ride ride my tail into the sunset somewhere and cry maybe, but it's bounced massively and it's like, whew, cheers, mate. A lot of stuff's happened with Nia, a lot of transaction activity, and is it Aurora? That's absolutely flowing 100% today, I believe. I should really double check that because I might be giving you absolute dog shit analysis. Where's my, there it is. I'm pretty sure Aurora's done a, it's IAS. Ooh, hello. Boom. So yeah, crazy move. Little bit crazy. $82 million volume. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's been a lot of activity over in the Nia world, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we'll see how things go. I've not purchased any Ori yet. I know people are waiting. I have put it on my Discord saying, right, I'm buying it, but I don't know when I'm buying it. I don't know what I'm going to buy it with yet. I've just said I'm going to buy it. So yeah, I've not even looked at the chart yet. I don't even know. But I also saw some of my members talk about it the other day over the weekend because it started moving. I was like, oh, fuck, don't move too far, man. Come on, I want to buy it. But luckily, it hasn't moved too far just yet. But we'll see. I've unstaked quite a lot of things, by the way. I've seen, opinions on importance of ADA utilized. I don't know. I'm honestly out the loop with Cardano completely. It's a good asset, but I'm not in their ecosystem at all. But we'll see. Yeah, I've unstaked most things. I still stake some DOT, but most things I've unstaked it now. Just in case we have a big, massive run. I like to sell some things at least. But yeah, we're getting to a point where I'm getting a bit twitchy with my portfolio, thinking, ooh, it's looking quite nice. This Christmas can be, I can buy myself a swimming pool at Christmas. Great. I'm freeze to death in the UK. Because it's crap. What's been your biggest losses in crypto? Oh, the first cycle, definitely. Wasn't so much like losses in terms of me putting money in and losing money. It was more the fact of unrealized losses and putting money on the table and just leaving it there and watching it set on fire. So I always say this, I've said this in my courses, I've said this on Patreon, I always preach this. Leaving money on the table is the worst thing in the world because it gets annoying when like people go, I do my exit plans, why are you taking profit? Why not? You know, it's like you're an investor, you should be making some money at some point. So first cycle, I've talked about this story, but I'm going to do like YouTube shorts and stuff like that or whatever to explain like where it all kind of went from. I did a video on it, but I'm going to do like a new version, but for short content. Basically, I've only invested around £2,000 in the market, and that went to like $250,000. Yeah, in the ICO boom, just crazy, went crazy. Everything went mad. Every ICO that I went into, I kept compounding into other ones, and it just kept going crazy. And yeah, I left a good 100k on the table, just sitting there like I'm just a normal full-time worker. This was way before I was full-time in crypto. I was like, okay. So yeah, that was me just like that was always the hardest lesson for me personally, leaving money on the table. So even though I'm looking at my portfolio now thinking, yeah, it's risk-free, I don't have to rely on it or anything, but if I look at my Nia bags and go, fucking hell, that's quite a lot, I should really be thinking, I should probably take something off the table just to reward myself, because we all know the next day could go to zero. Look at Luna, for example. Scary proposition. But yeah, I've never really had any big, massive, huge, juicy losses because I've always been pretty cautious. But yeah, ICT's on my list actually of what to do. I think ICT is really interesting. I just think it came out at the worst possible time and the VCs just sold it like idiots. Literally came out at rank 5 and just tanked. Good times. Do you think having your full portfolio accumulated by March 24 is a good amount of time before? Probably, yeah. I've been kind of in the market for quite a while now. Like I've been playing around with it. I sold a little few bits and pieces the other day and rebalanced a little bit, but nothing major. But yeah, I like to be exposed to this market because I know what could happen. A lot of people are like getting caught out in the noise of like Twitter going, oh, it's going to go low, it's going to go low. It's like, there's a key level there and it's just bounce off it. I don't think we're going to go low anytime soon. And we've bounced and kept on going. We might go lower, don't get me wrong, but there's obviously an opportunity now to take something off the table, at least. But yeah, we'll see. ICP, not ICT. But yeah. What did I do before crypto? I was in the Royal Air Force. I was in the military, been told when to shit, when to eat, when to go to the top, all that kind of stuff. Now look at me. Amazing. We're not all dumb. Yeah, leaving money on the table is not taking profits. So basically, like watching your portfolio just keep on going. I've seen so many people. Well, another term is round tripping. So I've seen so many members in learning crypto, especially like they come in with these stocks, and I love it. I love it when they're so open. They go, right, I've been in crypto since this time. I bought this at this, and I watched it go to like fuck all. I was like, over the bear market, we get a lot of people like that because they'll just want to learn. It's like some people like go, oh, I'm quite good at this, but I need to do this. Some people just need a bit of guidance. But as I said before, my guidance for me is always my audience. I know that sounds really daft to say, but you guys, as I said before, looking at the analytics, when it goes crazy, and then you got your nana asking about crypto or something daft like that, it's probably a good time to take profit. And then you got the other side of it, oh, Bitcoin's dead. And then you get all these kind of trolls coming in and the abuse. It's like time to buy. That kind of thing really, really helps. And you guys will probably pick up on it when you look at my mentions on Twitter and stuff like that. You'll see it, and you'll go, these comments are making me bullish. I know exactly the people in here that do it. Go, oh, these comments are making me so bullish because everyone's hating life. All of a sudden, it just goes boink, bounce. It's great. But as I say, it's all emotion. When there's too much hate, it often turns around. When there's too much euphoric feelings, it's often going to turn around. It's just one of those things. It happens in the stock market. It's a generational thing. It just happens all the time. Markets often rhyme, but they never repeat as much, to be fair. But yeah, I'm getting 2008 stock market vibes. I don't think the stock market's going to crumble just yet. Not yet. We'll see. Liquidity is returning, so maybe a recession in 2025, 2026 after the election year. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Not financial advice, just my opinion on it. But yeah. But yeah, there's going to be some absolute shakings of the trees, I think, in my opinion. And there always is. Always is. I mean, we can't go under this market unscathed. As you can see here, Bitcoin's dropped a little bit. But every single drop, it's going to hurt the altcoins. If I can find the freaking thing. So even now you're seeing a lot of red on the charts. It's like, cool. But we've got to look in the future. But some of these assets haven't really moved much over the week, but Bitcoin has. So it's like, could be fun. Could be very, very fun. Yeah, there's too. Yeah, as Jamie says, there's too much liquidity. 2026 would be amazing for a crash, in my opinion. Obviously, as long as we're all out unscathed and there's a big crash and you can hold cash for a couple of years, and you're laughing, really, aren't you? Who knows? If only the market could be that easy, yeah. If only. I've never really looked at eGold or whatever it's called. What's I can't even remember what's it called now. It's changed. Multiverse X. I can't keep up with how many names it's had. It's had about 3 rebrands. But no, I've never really looked much at it, to be fair. Never really been interested. But yeah, I think this is an interesting level for Bitcoin. It's kind of an obvious level. It's an absolute beauty, isn't it? I mean, hold on. Let me just highlight this a bit bigger. You got closure. Oh, God. Put that there. That whole level stinks of support resistance throughout. It's 50% retracement as well in terms of the fibs. 42,000. It looks like a good level, that, doesn't it? What do you think of the ETF getting rejected? I think it's slim. I'll be honest. I think personally, I know this is proper speculation, but CZ getting ousted out of Binance is a massive thing. I think that's a huge thing. You know, they're having the cleanup. They have been doing it over the last 6 months. The SEC have been finding things. Have been doing these little things. There's been crackdown in other countries as well. CZ's obviously left Binance now. Certain people are now in prison, right? That's interesting. But what do I know? The fact that they haven't openly went and denied it, there's been actual staff members from the SEC on like Bloomberg and that saying it's probably the right time for a BTC ETF. And you think, fucking, have I just heard that correctly? Like they think it's the right time. All right. So there's a lot of things to say that it's probably a yes, but Another thing with BlackRock as well and other companies, they don't just openly just go and just put a press release out going, oh, we've applied for an ETF. They would have done the legwork for years, like years. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. But we'll see. It depends, and I've just seen a little comment there about Tether. It depends what they're going to use as base currency. They're going to use USDC, which, as you know, is a bit, well, I wouldn't say it's dodgy, but they can stop things on USDC. There's a lot of control there, and obviously BlackRock have a little bit of a say in it. But we'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah. Is it far-fetched to assume that most coins will 10x? Usually. Probably. There's a lot of coins that are still 90% down. And some of the obvious coins that you look in the top 20, top 30, top 50, whatever, can still do a nice little run, realistically. And if that means Bitcoin goes to 100k and the BTC pairs start to catch up with it, it probably will do all right. I mean, when I look at the previous cycle, I didn't expect some of the things to go where they went. They went crazy numbers, like what? Like I bought Cardano at 3-4 cents. It went really far. It went 100x. It's like, what? Crazy numbers. Crazy numbers. But we'll see. Every asset's different, though. And you're going to notice some new assets that we're not talking about right now. It'll come out the gate. It'll go off like a bolt-in bull. And all of a sudden, it'll just keep going. But like, whoa, where did that come from? Look at Solana, previous cycle, for example. But we'll see. Dogecoin. Yeah, Doge. Look at Dogecoin last cycle. Jesus Christ. Bitcoin's 200k. If I keep my allocation of Bitcoin, my 40% of Bitcoin, it goes to 200k, I would be very happy. But we'll see. Oh yeah, BTC miners have just been mentioned. It's gone pretty crazy. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, selling Cardano at 36. I sold at 160 something. Should have left it a little bit longer, but hey, I made a decent chunk of money out of it, so I was pretty happy. Well, I mean, I did buy like 3 or 4 cents, to be fair. It was like crazy numbers. 2020 crash. Good times. That was a really interesting time, by the way. Oh, my miner stocks are up like ridiculous amounts. Ridiculous amounts. Like my crypto-related ISA fund, I've only put 700 quid in it. I'm gutted because I wanted to like really dollar cost average over the course of like the next 6 months, thinking I'll be fine. Miles, I got loads of time. No. It's up loads right now. Coinbase, Riot, and CleanSpark absolutely flying. Ridiculous numbers. Ridiculous numbers. Like in such a short space. I'll just give you an idea. In a short space of time, it's gone pretty ballistic. It doesn't look like much, doesn't. But when you look at this in an ISA and it's tax-free and you think it's free money, literally was buying at like $4 around here. So it just went boink, it just boomed. It's like, fuck's sake, man, really? This is the stock market. Even Coinbase, flying. And Riot's another one. Not as aggressive, but stock market vibes, pretty good for them. Have you covered DOT? I cover DOT all the bloody time, mate. I'm sick of covering DOT. People don't like me anymore because I'm always talking about DOT and the crappy treasury that's not working very well. QBTC, yeah. When that came out, that was really interesting, the QBTC, the Canadian spot ETF, because it did all right. It got a lot of billions volume bought up to offer a product, and then everything else just went crazy. Literally crazy. Yeah, MicroStrategy is another one that you can put on your list, but MicroStrategy for me, is it? Oh, what is it? There it is. I want it in stocks, please. MicroStrategy for me is it's gone. Bye bye. So yeah, I don't really want to buy that, to be fair. But yeah, it would have been a good one if you were buying like start of like, well, look, like literally that's like when Bitcoin bottomed out. Fuck it, look at that, 147. Now it's 555. Fucking hell. But we'll see. I want to short the OpenGov. think a few people do, to be fair. It's not a bad thing, really. The problem with it, and I don't want to talk too much about it, because, again, I'll get people trying to annoy me, but there's too many people in like little groups trying to control it. Oh, you can only do this many policies. Oh, if it's this big, you got to go through an agency. Fuck off. Just let them just fucking put a proposal in and let people vote for it. Stop like sucking up to whales. Sorry, there we go. I'm whinging. Let's go back into something else. What's nice to talk about? How do I feel about the gaming narrative? I'm not really too keen. I'd rather be in the AI narrative personally, but the gaming narrative and the metaverse narrative will always pop off. I think, put it this way, I think any coin that you're holding, if you're holding like a layer 1 or something like that, there will be some like little gaming exposure somewhere. Surely, there has to be. But yeah, I'm not too turned on by it personally. But that's my opinion on it. I've never have been into those niche stuff because I've always found myself getting burned. I could easily promote a lot of gaming coins, but I don't tend to because my inbox is full of them. That's another thing I could have talked about, my inbox. Christ. Do you want to promote this coin? I'll give you $100. No, thank you. $100, really? No, it's not worth it. Quite literally, not even joking. I don't know much about SIA or however it's described, but A-Star's good. A-Star's probably, probably in the top 3 of parachains in my opinion, but that's my personal thoughts on it. I'm a fan of HBAR, but I'm not going to buy it. I've just lobbed my pen on the floor. Oopsie daisy. But yeah, I'm a big fan of No BS Crypto, and he loves his HBAR. He loves his quant as well. But yeah, I've never really fancied it myself, to be fair. I kind of dabbled with the idea of buying quant. Alex Becker. The scam entrepreneur. Quite literally. He literally is a marketing genius, but he comes from a different world, and he came into crypto, and it's just not very fun, is it, really, when he's getting people caught up in the emotions of gaming coins right at the top, and then it just crumbles. Quant. Yeah, Quant's pretty much high up in the world of the financial pyramid. That's the thing that I don't like about it. That's the one thing that puts me off, is the link to the central bank digital currencies and stuff like that. It's like, it's a bit too close for comfort, this. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Martini guy's gone really quiet. Yeah, it's probably because he's pissed everyone off. Probably can't do a video anymore without getting trolled. He's probably wrecked that many people. It's like, I can't do a video anymore, can I? But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm the same with Stu here. In terms of gaming coins, I look at it and go, they don't look very good, do they? Like, that's my opinion. It's like, we're in 2023 and the graphics are like Habbo Hotel. It's like, don't really like the idea of that. But that's my opinion. Like, I'd rather play normal games and not get rewarded for it, but that's just me. I understand the world of it. I understand why people would do it. Makes sense as a currency, a digital currency. But I'm like, no. I think it's because I see my inbox. I see how they grow and how they market it, and I just don't like it. And I don't really want to put that on my audience, personally. Do you think the push for central bank digital currency has something to do with central banks and governments testing? Probably yes. Yes. Gotta be. I don't think it's going to be as easy as the banks and the governments think to incorporate central bank digital currencies. I just think it's going to be really hard. I think us lot will make a lot of noise. I think the banks won't like the idea of it as well because they like control. I just don't think it's going to work out very well, but we'll see how it goes. But we'll see. Yeah, I think you're right there, Ryan, with you got Fortnite, you got Warzone, you got all that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, nothing really fun here. Do you think it's okay to leave your crypto on Coinbase? No, because it's a pain in the... I hate Coinbase, man. I fucking hate it. It's such a crap... I literally used it for learning crypto the other day, and I literally lost some crypto because I sent it somewhere really weird. I was like, oh, for God's sake. It's only a little bit, but absolutely useless. Useless in my opinion. But you're better off having your own custodial stuff, because even recently, as I say, like if you're in certain countries, you get denied access. In the UK, we are literally getting denied access from exchanges all the time. I'm sick of it. It's doing my head in. And I'd just rather have, my own control. yes, they give you notice and that, but if you miss that email, you might be absolutely buggered. And yeah, people are already saying on the comments, the fees are ridiculous. Coinbase wants to be like the most regulated place, but it's a horrible looking exchange. The UI is pretty clunky and all. It's a nightmare. But you're better off being your own custodian, definitely. I think everyone likes to have their own money, but we'll see. Really want to stabilize at $80. Please, yes, please, I'll do that. Yeah, you could have staking. The one thing about staking, and certainly with DOT, is the fact that, like, yes, it's like a really mental dividend stock, but it's just the price is just dying so much faster. So much faster. It's like, oh. So yeah, you're making 18%, but you're also losing X amount in terms of value appreciation. So it's a nightmare for a lot of things, but it should get a lot easier overall. But I would like it to settle down myself personally. But yeah, there's best way to a UK. For me, Swissborg is by far the best off ramp. That's my personal one that I use. I've used it for a while now. Never had any issues. I've used other ones and I've got stuck, or it takes 3 days, and oh no, like Swissborg literally takes 3 seconds, which is pretty good. Because it's your own bank account essentially, it's in your own name, so it never gets blocked or anything, which is useful. Where does one buy crypto if it's not from an exchange? Good question. You probably can't if you can't get on the exchange. Or Uniswap if it's an ERC20. Yeah, Monzo are pretty good. I've never had any issues with Monzo. Had to get a Revolt business account for learning crypto because we got debanked from Nationwide. Not Nationwide, NatWest, sorry. NatWest. So yeah, we got debanked on Friday. It's like, yeah, great, thanks. Assholes. Been with them for 5 years through multiple bear markets. But no, now when it's ramping up, NatWest were like, we don't want to bank with you anymore. We will not discuss this with you any further. You have until the 23rd of January to move your account. So we're now with Revolt for that one. But yeah, Revolt's been pretty good, to be fair. Yeah, Kraken's been mentioned. Kraken's really good for an off-ramp. I've heard good things about Kraken. I've heard good things about, obviously, Swissborg because I use it. Nexo's another one I've heard good things about. I wouldn't really want to put all my money into Nexo, though, because I do think their DeFi platform's a little bit high. But on-ramp, off-ramp, I say for any exchange, no matter what exchange, like I basically push exchanges from what I use. Obviously, I mentioned BitGet before. BitGet, I've got a huge list promotion going on because they're listing coins. That's a really good bullish sign. But it's like anything, use and abuse an exchange. Literally, like, get it on, buy your assets, take it off, get it into cold storage. Just do it correctly. NatWest were the ones that have debanked us. So we had a business account with NatWest for 5 years, from 2018 to literally now. I mean, crazy. When you think of that previous bear market as well. But hey ho. What can you do? Not a lot really, but other than that, it's just one of those things. But that's what I mean, like, the policies in the UK have changed. I know there's a few people in the UK here, and it's a pain in the ass having to move exchanges or set up new ones. And I always say set up a new one and just have exchanges ready to go so you've got an account just in case, because there might be a day when one exchange is like, oh, we're closing exchanges. Oh, I want to buy that in like 3 months' time. You can't get it anywhere. Nightmare. Coinbase is crap, though. It really is. Come on. Like, the liquidity is really low with Coinbase. Like, when you look at it, it's like some coins get like 10,000 volume. It's like, oh my god, that's what I hate. Like, literally the other day I had to sell something and I couldn't sell it because there was no liquidity. It was like, really? And that was on like a really small account for learning crypto, like a tiny account. So, oh, fuck's sake, honestly. But yeah, like, hold on, just to give you an idea, this kind of scares people. When I show people this, it scares people. If you go to the exchange and go on spot, yeah, it's got 2.3, but like in terms of the weekly visit, is like really small. It's like tiny. It's like, oh, it's so cute. And then you look at the volume, it's like, yeah, some of the big ones, not bad in the USD, but it starts getting very, very interesting when you get a bit further down. Let's go a bit further down, actually, why not? It gets really kind of sketchy. Here we go. Chainlink. Great British pounds, 600,000. Not a lot. So yeah, there's a lot of illiquid stuff on. Like for me, Coinbase should have more liquidity, but I think they've gone the wrong way. I think they've went from listing nothing to listing everything, but a lot of what they list is like no one really cares about, or the stuff you never heard of. I mean, look at this. Some of the Great British pound pairs are awful. Like, oh my days. And some of these assets are not small assets neither. That was what I was trying to sell. This wasn't happening. But yeah, you get the idea. Kind of worrisome a little bit. But hey, that's my opinion on it. I just think it's a bit... could do better. For what it is, for the regulation side of it, for all that kind of stuff, it should be interesting. I've no idea what OP is doing. Privacy coins are interesting. I'm not too keen on 100% privacy. Like Monero, for example, not really too keen. But I like Rose. It does have privacy enabled with the Ethereum virtual machine. Bitcoin itself has an element of privacy in there. But it just depends. But yeah, you might see a rise of it. If central bank digital currencies are popping off like rockets and everything else is happening and like there's all this kind of stuff happening with keeping your money and stuff, it might be very, very interesting to see what happens with privacy coins. You might be right with a new situation of a narrative there, but we'll see. The easiest thing to combat and stop a a privacy coin is exchanges will get on board with like a framework regulation plan and they'll just won't list them, which will be a problem for obvious reasons because it'll just suffocate, but we'll see. Yeah, US for Coinbase, the US is king. For the UK, it's the last pick you'd pick. Put it that way. There's much better alternatives over in the UK, to be fair. But yeah, especially if you're trying to sell in Great British pound, it's kind of somewhat impossible on a lot of pairs. It's a bit cack, but hey ho. But yeah, I do appreciate a lot of people coming out today. I know it's been a while since I've done a live stream. If you've not yet liked, please do like it. Be good to see if you get some traction outside of the live stream. Which country is the best setup for crypto? Oh my god, I don't know. A lot of people are talking about like, oh, Great Britain are like the hub of crypto and blockchain. No, they're not. They're useless. Ignore that one. I wouldn't even know which country is the best one at the minute, personally. The US are fighting battles. The UK is fighting battles. Europe's a bit of a mess. God knows. I'm staking my RSR on the platform. Small chunk, nothing major, nothing mental. Playing around with it. It's alright, to be fair. Pretty good APIs. Or APRs even. And as Jamie says, everyone hit the like button. Pin the message. Bosh. Saved me a job typing it out. But yeah, there's a lot of bullish signs for the market. In my opinion anyways, bullish signs. A lot of good things happening, but we're still a long way off yet. There's still a lot of shaking out to happen, a lot of corrections. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. It's getting a bit volatile today, to be fair. There's been a few rejections up and down, but altcoins are doing okay. Some of them are all right, but the dominance is really increasing. That could get fun. I use Swissborg to put my money in, and I use Monzo as a bank. And Centrifuge is good. Centrifuge's got the highest TVL, I believe, in the Polkadot ecosystem, so it's pretty solid. It's actually one that I looked at buying not too long ago. Wink, wink, hint, hint. I might buy some more stuff, but we'll see. I've got some more money to come back from the crowd loans in January, I believe. So it may go into a parachain. It might go into Centrifuge. Potentially. Spoke about that before, though. But we'll see. Anyways, I'm going to shoot. I've been here about an hour. I don't want to leave you hanging too long. I appreciate everyone that came out. And yeah, there'll be probably another live stream at some point next week. I'll probably start doing them every week. We'll start having a bit more fun doing certain bits and pieces. But yeah, have fun. If you're new, feel free to subscribe. More videos coming. And yeah, slap the like button and yeah.